Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to a quick little news alert. And I'm sure most people have heard this already. I would have delivered this a couple days ago, but as many people know, I struggled for a couple days with a little bout of food poisoning, so I was not able to get you this initially. But better late than never, I always say. So we've heard the big news on the prog-rock scene last couple of days is the return of Porcupine Tree, of course, the great modern prog rock band led by Steven Wilson, who basically after 2009's The Incident kind of disappeared from the scene. And Steven Wilson started up his solo career and has seemingly not looked back until now. However, in all the years since The Incident, as much as folks have been enjoying a good chunk of the Steven Wilson solo discography, and he's toured, played shows, a handful of albums, a lot of acclaim. Still a lot of Porcupine Tree fans out there who've just been pining and hoping and waiting for the day when Mr. Wilson would put the band back together and say, okay, we're going to make another go of it. It's been pretty quiet on that front for many, many years. Even though, he plays some Porcupine Tree cuts from time to time in his solo shows. But he's been very, very quiet about getting the band back together, and members of Porcupine Tree have been busy doing other things, so it's not like everybody's been sitting there waiting around. However, the other day, after a little cryptic tweet, I think it was, or a photograph that was thrown out there, the news came out that the band are finishing up a brand new album. They released a brand new song called Harridan. 8 minutes and 7 seconds, brand new song. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's all over the internet. Most people have been listening to it and commenting on it in the last couple days. So I figured I'd kind of do the same and give you my take on it. So again, 8 minutes long, which for me was, I think, a good step in the right direction because, many Porcupine Tree tracks were in the 4 to 10 minute length, right? There were plenty of them over the years. And I think that Mr. Wilson himself, some of his solo stuff has been on the lengthy side. So it's ironic that they would release this first single as this song Harridan, coming not that long after Steven Wilson's most recent solo album, which most of the prog fans and many of the Porcupine Tree fans kind of rejected for its out-and-out popishness. And it seems like now, with this new song, Harridan, Mr. Wilson getting back to business, although he has stated, or the band has stated, I'm not sure exactly who it came from, I'm sure from him, that some of the tracks that will be on this upcoming album next year called Closure/Continuation, that some of these tracks have been sitting around in the can or on a hard drive for many years, since after the incident or right about the time of the incident. So an interesting title for the album, Closure/Continuation. Almost like leaves it up for interpretation. So will this be the closure, the final thing we hear from Porcupine Tree, or will it be a continuation? You can take it either way. I guess they're not wanting to commit to it right about now, so they're going to leave it up to us to kind of worry about it and think about it and debate it until we get the album next year, which is June, I think, June 24th of next year. Okay, it's going to come out on Music for Nations, Sony, Megaforce, what have you, depending on where you live. And they've also announced a dozen tour dates for late next year in the fall, right about a year from now. So they're mostly all throughout Europe. So about a dozen, give or take a couple tour dates that have been announced so far for late next year. So they got plenty of time to plan for this. We have to wait until June. I'm assuming they'll probably release another song or two between now and then. But right now we got Harridan, which quite frankly, the first 3-4 minutes of the song, I was kind of like, I wasn't overly impressed. The first couple minutes of the song is kind of laid back, kind of poppy and funky in spots. It's not terrible, but it reminded me a little more of the last two Steven Wilson solo releases. And I was like, all right, this is okay, but not really what I was expecting from a new Porcupine Tree song. And then all of a sudden, right around the midway point, it kicks into high gear. You got some cool, heavy rockin' riffing. All right, some kind of like dirgy guitar breakdown sort of thing. Nice slamming drums, and I was like, this I can get into. And all of a sudden, the song just completely morphs into this more what you'd expect from Porcupine Tree type of, you know, whatever you want to call Porcupine Tree, alternative, prog rock, I don't know, whatever. Porcupine Tree to me were always one of these bands that kind of were labeled prog rock, but they were always like on a different plane from everybody else. Their music always like was very modern sounding, and yeah, it dipped a little bit in the past, but it's kind of its own beast, so to speak. And I think this song is a perfect example of what they've always done so best, is kind of keep you guessing and take you into, you know, interesting avenues, even in the course of 1 8-minute long song. Steven's doing some interesting things vocal-wise. The guitar riffing is pretty cool. You got, I'm assuming, Gavin Harrison and Richard Barbieri. Those are the two other guys in the photograph that we've seen, the one photograph, doing their thing. You know, Mr. Harrison, amazing as always. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm going to listen to it a few more times. I've heard it a couple times already. Like I said, initial listen, I was kind of like not loving it until that midsection kicked in. Now I'm like, when I listen to it, I'm just waiting for that part, and I'm enjoying the opening minutes a little bit more in anticipation of the greatness that happens on the second half of the track. So as for the rest of the album, what can we expect? I don't know. We'll see. It's a long wait. Interesting how they've given us so much of a lead time before they actually will release the album. Like I said, my guess is I'm anticipating we will get at least one more song between now and then, possibly a third. That just seems to be the mantra that most bands do nowadays when they're getting ready to release a new album. You usually get anywhere from 2 to 3 songs that are leaked or officially released beforehand, and then boom, the album drops. So my guess is, so now it's beginning of November, we'll probably get another song right around the holidays or right around the new year, and then maybe we'll get one more like a couple of weeks or a month or like a week before the album actually drops in June. That is my guess. So we'll see. But yeah, you know, for a guy that I thought, personally, in my opinion, I thought he had moved on past Porcupine Tree and he was just no longer going to go there, especially since he's made some remarks recently about, you know, his seeming, you know, lack of interest in progressive rock in general. Kind of cool that he's going to go back and do this. Whether, you know, I don't know, whether it's because his most recent solo album didn't quite set the world on fire like he thought. Maybe he feels some of his early fans, longtime fans, were a little disenchanted with that album and want a return to whatever. I don't know, whatever the reason is, but I guess he feels the time is right to go back and do Porcupine Tree. Maybe he felt like he said all he needed to say on his handful of solo albums that he's unleashed since the incident in 2009. I don't know. I don't know the reason. It doesn't really matter. I think most people are pretty happy that Porcupine Tree are coming back. So, and myself, sure, I'm into it as well because I've always liked their music, and I think this will be pretty cool. It's something to look forward to in 2022, and I think anytime you can look forward to a new release from a band you miss a lot, that's a good thing. And so far, based on the Harridan, I should say, not the Harridan, I think we're in for some good music, and that's what it's all about. So thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Put in the comments section how are you feeling about this new Porcupine Tree? What do you think of the song? Are you looking forward to the album? Are you going to go see him on tour? Let's just get a discussion going in the comments below about all things Porcupine Tree. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you real soon here on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. Bye-bye.